reprobatism, with a schism on the end of the ism. All right, so we're going to put the reprobatism in there. And that's going to be the topic tonight. And this is going out to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered abroad. We pray that the Most High bring us all back to the fold, those of us who believe. So let's go to Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Abanawa by him. All right, all praises to the Most High. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And I decided to talk about this topic because I was talking to a brother yesterday and this morning about certain brothers in Israel who like getting on these debate channels. They deny the Son, Hamashiach, but yet they want to challenge people, you know, and it could be for a reason, just to be an opportunist, to try to get your name out there, to get a little fame, or it could be for YouTube money, because, you know, people are making money off of YouTube. Okay, so it could be any one of those things. Me, myself, I really don't watch a lot of YouTube videos like I used to. But, you know, I'm kind of drifting away from the YouTube videos because I'm more a realist. I like dealing with things that are real, people that are real, and not just some, you know, TV video thing. I barely watch TV as it is, but the scriptures fulfill me. And talking to brothers and sisters fulfill my need of learning this word. It helps build me, and having the eyes to see the things that we're able to see today. You can see how Satan is working in this world, you know, and so it's a blessing to have the words of the Most High and the truth, and have brothers and sisters who are willing to help you spread the word. But as far as watching all the videos and all that, I really don't get into that, you know. Let's go to Luke chapter 20. The first thing that we must understand when we grab our Bible, the first thing we must understand when we grab this book, because a lot of times we leave it on our desk, it might be open, it may be closed, but the first thing we have to remember when we grab it is that we must believe the prophets. The prophets and Hamashiach. We have to believe. You cannot grab this book and not believe what the prophets say. Well, whatever you read is not going to make sense to you. If you grab it and you're denying the Son, and you grab this, but you only believe what the prophets say, you're denying the whole book. Seriously, I mean, let's be real about it. You grab this Bible, you believe everything in it. It's simple. Okay? So let's read Luke chapter 20. And let's go to verse 9. Luke chapter 20, verse 9. And this is a parable that Hamashiach gave to a lot of the priests and the scribes and the elders who came around him. And he was telling them about this parable, and I'll read it. It says, "Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time." Okay, so the husbandmen are the employees. Verse 10, "And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen, that they should give him of the fruit of the vine of the vineyard. But the husbandman beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent the third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the Most High of the vineyard, or the man of the vineyard, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It may be they will reverence him when they see him." So I mean, so this is what a man would normally do. If you own a business, you got employees that work there, you got supervisors entrusted with your ability to supervise, and you send a servant from another place to go check on the place, and they see this guy and they kill him. You send another one, they kill him. You send another one, they kill him. Then you send your son. Now this is a parable about the prophets and Christ, Hamashiach. So the Son is an example of the Hamashiach. Okay? And the servant is an example of the prophet sent before. The vineyard is Israel. So when you read the Songs of Solomon, it speaks about the vineyards and the birds. The vineyards is Israel. The birds are the other nations. Okay? In the Song of Solomon. Let's read on. Verse 15. Verse 14. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this is an heir. An heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they said, okay, these are some evil men. They want all the glory. They want all the inheritance of this particular place because they worked it. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the man of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, the Most High forbid. So this is a parable telling you, look, now Christ has come to bring the flocks together. But prior to that, you had husbandmen over. So these are the preachers who are over our people. And what are they doing? They're killing our people. They're slaughtering our people. Every day. For the last 2,000 years, our people have been slaughtered. Now, early 1900s and the late 1800s, you had men who would teach our people about black power. It was more of a political movement back then. And when we assembled in the churches, we didn't just go there to hear gospels and stuff like that. We went to learn about education, about community, about economics. This is how the Black Wall Streets got started. And this is not being taught in our churches today. It's so far gone, our people don't even understand what it means to come together or assemble together to create and make new things up for our people. It's not even taught anymore. All right. You had certain men, they came from that era. That was all they did. That's how they taught. But now these preachers today, they don't talk about nothing. They don't talk about the balance of power. They don't talk about anything. They don't talk about the seeds, our children, right? They don't talk about the servants of authority, the titles and stuff that we're supposed to have, the linking of the generations that we've had before. You know, everybody was taught their strengths in these churches. That's not done anymore. You come as you are and you leave as you are now. Totally different. All right. So this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about reprobatism, because our people are reprobate. They don't want to help their own people. Okay. So when you look at the prophets, that's why I said believe what the prophet said in Hamashiach, because this is the problem that we're missing. The prophets was teaching us a way to assemble, to learn, to strengthen our people with the inheritance and the nationality of who we are, our customs, and thenceforth. It's not being taught anymore. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and 20. 2 Chronicles 20 and 20. Because, you know, when you read the Bible and you start doing a little research, they tell you, oh, there's only 12 minor prophets. And they say, oh, there's only 4 major prophets: Daniel, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah. You know, but the 12 minor prophets. Now, when you read the Bible, the whole book is prophecy. Job was a prophet. Okay, Nehemiah was a scribe, but he was also a prophet. Ezra was a prophet. You see, you got all these other people who were prophets they don't even mention. They just said the 12 minor prophets: Hosea, Joel, you know, Amos, such. But everybody were prophets. Right? They'll tell you there's only 17 books of prophecy in the whole Bible. No, the whole Bible is prophecy. You know, that's when you go to these theology schools, that's what they tell you. They don't tell you that the whole Bible is prophecy. They take certain parts out and they put other parts in. So 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 20. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Hamashiach, your power, so shall you be established. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper. All right? So what are we supposed to do? Believe the prophets so we can what? Prosper. All through the scriptures, that's what it's about. Believe the prophets so you can prosper. Let's go to Acts 24:14. Let's go from the old to the new. And this is one of the main things before becoming a reprobate you have to know. You know, you have to know these things. And some people become reprobates after because they don't want to listen to what the prophets say. Some become reprobates before. Let's see, Acts 24:14. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the power of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and the prophets. So in neglect, if you don't want to believe Paul, he said still believe in the law and the prophets. You see? The churches don't want to believe in what the prophets say. They want to believe in what the apostles say. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. But you still got to believe the prophets because this is where the apostles are getting their message from other than Hamashiach. Let's go to Tobit in the Apocrypha. Let's see what Tobit believed. You know, Tobit lived well past his hundreds. Okay? He lived, be what, 135, 58 or something like that? I think it was 158. Let's go to Tobit. And let's go to the 14th chapter in the Apocrypha. And let's go to verse 8. Tobit chapter 14, verse 8. And now, my son, depart out of Nineveh, because that those things which the prophet Jonas spoke shall surely come to pass. But keep thou the law and the commandments, and show thyself merciful and just, that it may go well with thee. So he's telling you what? He believed what Jonah said. This is how he was able to escape Nineveh before what? Got destroyed. This Nineveh did get destroyed eventually. Look at verse 15. But before he died, he heard all the destruction of Nineveh, which was taken by Nebuchadnezzar and Xerxes. And before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh. See that? Before he died, the Most High promised if you listen to the prophet, you'll see the destruction of your enemy. Nineveh was destroyed. Why? Because Jonah had prophesied against it. All right? And Tobit believed in the prophet, so he got out of there. And he saw it was going to get destroyed. All right? So, got to believe what the prophets say, man. If you don't, then you neglect the whole Bible. You cannot neglect the whole Bible. Let's get a couple more. Let's go to Acts 26 and 27. Acts chapter 26, verse 27. Now this is King Agrippa. All right. And check this out, because Paul had to speak to the king of Rome at this time. King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? He said, do you believe the prophets? I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. So he said, look, you almost persuaded me to believe in the prophets. And actually, this is the second time you'll see Christian in the New Testament. Okay, so Christian is in there, and the Christians were the Israelites. All right, anyone who cleaved to the Israelites. All right, but they were basically people who followed Hamashiach. Let's go to, and they were mostly Israelites. All right, Luke, let's go to Luke 16 and 31. Believe the prophets. This is one of the first things you got to do before ever falling off the wagon and becoming reprobate. This is Luke 16 and 31. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And this is a parable that Christ was telling the dead man, rich man. All right. The rich man wanted to go back and tell his family, follow the Bible, and Abraham was like, they already got the Bible. He says, all they got to do is research. Just like we tell our people, won't you do your research? You know? So this is what we have to do. Let's get one more. Let's go to John 5 and 47. John chapter 5, verse 47. But if ye believe not his writings, verse 46. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Because why? He spoke everything from the prophets. Moses was the first one, or Abraham, and then Moses, and then everybody else followed the writings of Moses. Just like we're following the writings of Moses and Hamashiach. All right? The prophets or the apostles that came after Hamashiach, basically when we say that we follow them, we're following Hamashiach. So we follow the writings after Hamashiach. Okay? This is very interesting, man, because these instructions are so basic, but we fail to follow them. It's so basic, man. Basic instructions. Let's go to Romans 1 and 28. Romans chapter 1, verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, but gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient. You see some guys on YouTube, and they ain't got Hamashiach in their minds. They be talking about some crazy stuff. The doctrines be all messed up. They can't break down certain verses. Don't understand no laws, but yet they be having more views than anybody. You be wondering who be watching them. You know? You know who be watching them? More reprobates. Reprobates watch reprobates. You know? So this is what we have to understand when we watch certain things on YouTube or people out and abroad or things on TV. A lot of these people are reprobate. They walked away from the prophets. Most Christians don't even believe in what the prophets said. They say, well, what did Christ say? And that's important too. But they forget that Hamashiach spoke about the prophets. When you read Matthew 5, 15 through 19, that's what it's talking about. The prophets and the Pharisees. Right? So we have to understand we still got to follow the prophets. Let's read on. 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate. All these guys want to have debates, right? That's reprobate. Debate. What do guys do debates for? Money. Most of them do it for money. Most of them do it for fame. So debate, he wouldn't have put that in there. They can't even see it. That's how reprobated they are. They can't even see that a debate is reprobate. Deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud. I'm the only one that got the truth. That's proud. That's some serious pride. Okay? Pride, man. Boasters. You see that all over YouTube. Inventors of evil things. Disobedient to parents. Without understanding. Covenant breakers. Without natural affection. They forget about how to be natural affectionate to their brothers and to their sisters. They just beastly. They deal beastly with their own brothers and sisters. You know, and a lot of them don't even understand what I'm speaking about. You know, the scriptures say, love your brother as you love yourself. Many brothers don't know how to do that. They don't know how to get together and just, you know, just be and enjoy one another's company. They don't know how to do that. Nah, they got to challenge you. Challenge you on this, challenge you on that. There's a time for that. There's a time for that, but it's not during the time of fellowship. Okay? Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So, I mean, that's a lot of instructions in 4 verses. A lot of instructions. People can't follow instructions. How are they going to make it to the kingdom? You can't follow instructions. That's why Christian says it's impossible to be perfect. That's because you can't follow instructions. You don't know how. Many people can't follow instructions. You tell them the deadline to turn in your application is going to be Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You know, you'll have people coming at 3 o'clock trying to turn in their application. You have people coming at 8 o'clock. You have people coming at 6:05 to turn in their application. By that time, the door is closed. People cannot follow instructions. It's crazy. I mean, something as simple as following instructions, people can't do it. You know? If you told people you have to be here at such and such time to get your $1 million, and there was 100 people you told, only 10 would show up. The other 90 would show up at the wrong times. Wrong day, wrong year. Crazy. So big phone calls, thinking they can retrieve it for the phone. You know, this is just crazy. How people just don't think. They don't think anymore. I mean, what president was that did the COINTELPRO? What was his name? Nixon? Man, he called our people dogs when you watch the documentary. He said, black people are worse than dogs. That's what he said. Now, he couldn't have said that when we was assembling. We was all in one frame of mind. We had the same thoughts. When we had the Black Wall Street, they wasn't like dogs. They was way above the Edomites. They was making all the heathens look like dogs. But see, they don't want us to assemble. They break that up. Everything that we do when we come together, they break it up and they infiltrate. That's their whole mission, to infiltrate whatever we do, to make us look stupid, to put us against one another. That's what they do. That's another form of reprobatism. They run you off, make you say something else, turn all our people into Judases Iscariots, you know, against one another. That's why brothers are so afraid to gather with one another now. Yeah, they go to Christian church. You know why? Because it's infiltrated. They'll go to ball games because it's infiltrated. Everything that brothers and sisters deal with now, wholeheartedly and voluntarily, they go to infiltrated things. Everything is infiltrated. All right. The things that they don't participate, organized stuff, they run from. They don't go to that stuff. All right. They love disorderly gatherings. Our people. Let's go to Jeremiah 6:30. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know why people do that, man. It's just crazy. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 30. Jeremiah 6:30. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because the Most High hath rejected them. Now, silver is below gold. The Most High rejected us, so we're not gold anymore. We're silver. We're priceless. Okay? Gold is more expensive than silver. The Most High calls us his gold and his silver in certain verses. He says that you're like gold that's refined. That's only for those who repent and change their ways. Look at 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha. All of this is reprobatism. I guess that's a new word that I created. Put that in the dictionary. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the acceptable men, in order to become gold, you got to be tried. Okay? When we're tried, we become as gold to the Most High. Very cherishable. We proved our point to him. He knows that we stand for him. Okay? You look at like the Warriors. They playing basketball. They winning all their games. Curry, for the Warriors team in mind, is not a reprobate. Okay? The minute that he stepped out and stopped playing, he became a reprobate for the Warriors. And what do they do to brothers that don't want to play hard? They trade them. They get rid of them. That's what a reprobate is. When you look at the definition of reprobate, it means that which is rejected on account of its own worthlessness. Rejected. To cast away. You know, normally because they have failed to make use of opportunity offered to them. So that's what reprobatism is. All right? Worthlessness. Rejected. All through the scriptures that talk about reprobatism. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 6 and 8. I'm going to show you some brothers that's in the Bible, that's in the New Testament, who fell out the truth. Their names, they talk highly about them, and then all of a sudden they fall out the truth. I'm going to show you some brothers in here. You know, it's crazy because it's the same brothers who talking highly turn around and say that they fell out. But first, let's get this verse. Hebrews 6 and 18. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 18. Verse 8, I'm sorry. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 8. Slack it. But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is near unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Wow, that's heavy. You become reprobate, the Most High says you are worthless. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed toward his name, and that you have ministered to the saints. And all that charity is about ministering to our people. That's what it's about. It says, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, that you be not slothful or lazy, but followers of them, who through faith and patience inherit the promises. So this is something we have to constantly endure. And I say this every week. We got to constantly endure. Over and over and over. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 2 and 13. Proverbs chapter 2, and we're going to go to verse 13. Proverbs 2 and 13. Who leave the paths of unrighteousness to walk in the ways of darkness? Who leaves the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness? Many people do. Right? Many people fall away. Many. You know, your brothers, your sisters fall away. Some of your mothers fall away. Some of your fathers fall away. Many people fall away from the truth. Proverbs chapter 11 and 19. Proverbs 11 and 19. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. Man. Man, you got to walk in the ways of life, man. You know, these lives that we live in, the days go fast. The months go fast. The weeks go fast. You know this. We're already in 2016 in the 3rd month, which is really the 1st month of the year, all right, which is the springtime. But look how fast it's going. We're going into this next year, and we're about to deal with a new president in this wicked place called Babylon. All right? This new president going to bring hell on this place. I hope y'all ready, because he's about to get in. We all know who I'm talking about. Donald Trump is going to win this election. All right? But we know it's going to bring hell on earth. All right? So y'all get ready for the affliction, because it's coming. All right? And we already know we don't vote. But that's what's coming. Let's go to Ezekiel 18 and 24. Ezekiel 18 and 24. Affliction is coming, Israel. There's going to be a lot more people. Remember, the scriptures tell you when Israel's afflicted, they're looking for answers. Our people got to be afflicted in order to come into the truth. Right now, they ain't afflicted. We think our people are afflicted, but they're not really afflicted yet. Wait till Donald Trump get in. Then our people are going to be running to the truth. Ezekiel 18:24. But when the righteous turn away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? Question. All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. Wow, everything you done that was righteous, you lived 80 years and you did righteousness for 80 years. And then the last 5 years you fall off. The Most High says all that stuff you did that was righteous, it's not going to even be remembered. Man. It says, all his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he hath trespassed, and in the sin that he hath sinned, in them shall he die. Think about that, man. In them shall he die. It didn't say that your whole group gonna die. It say that you gonna die if you sin. If you know right from wrong and you continually sinning, you gonna die in your trespasses. That's the way the Most High got it. That's the order of the way things work. All right, let's go to the repentance of Hamashiach in the New Testament. Let's see who fell out by this. Let's go to Colossians 4:14. Let's see what brother fell out the truth. 4:14. Here we go. Luke, the beloved physician, and Demas greet you. So this is about Demas, okay? So he's hanging out with Luke. And Luke is who? Luke was with Hamashiach. He was a physician. It says, salute the brethren which are in Laodicea and Nymphas, and the church which is in his house. And when this epistle is read amongst you, cause that it be read also in the church of Laodiceans, and that ye likewise read the epistle from Laodicea. This is up in Greece. All right, so Demas. You guys ever heard of Demas? He was in the truth. Here he is hanging with Hamashiach's disciple. Let's find another verse on Demas. Let's see how long he sticks around. Let's go to Philemon. Philemon. You don't hear too many brothers talk about the book of Philemon. But it's a small book. I think it's only one chapter. Maybe kind of difficult to find. Let's go to chapter 1 and let's read verse 24. I started 23. It says, there salute thee Epaphras, my fellow prisoner in Hamashiach Yahushai. Paul was he was in prison at this time. Marcus, Aristarchus, Demas, Lucas, my fellow laborers. The grace of our power, Hamashiach Yahushai, be with your spirit. Amen. All right, so here's Demas. Demas again, right? So right now it looks like he's in the truth. He's hanging on. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's enduring, right? So now let's go to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Hamashiach, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. And not to me only, but unto them also that love his appearing. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. For Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world. Oh, what happened? And is departed unto Thessalonica. So he left and went back where? Into the world. Demas was hanging out with the top-notch disciples. Luke, one of the 12 disciples. And he fell out the truth. Many brothers will fall out the truth. And what happens? We read it in Ezekiel. If they fall out the truth and they commit sin upon sin upon sin, what's going to happen? Death. Death will set in. Hard pill to swallow, man. And that's for all of us. Ain't none of us exempt. As long as we breathe. None of us are exempt. Look at 1 Corinthians 15:5. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 5. This is when Hamashiach rose again. And it says, and that he was seen of Cephas, which is Peter, then of the 12 disciples, and that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greatest part remain unto this present, but some are fell asleep. Some went back into the world. See? That's reprobate. That's reprobate. Our brothers and sisters go back into the world, man. They think it's easy to go back into the world. Why? Because of comfort. Most people go back into the world for comfort. They don't like the struggle, man. The struggle is hard. And you know, the thing about struggle, you can't fix it in a matter of days. It takes years sometimes when you're struggling in the truth. It don't happen just like that. It takes time, man. Say, for example, you got to pay debt. It might take you 3 years to pay that debt off. 3 years or longer. You see how these car loans are? They give you a 72-month car loan. That car could break down. Someone could run into it. You don't have the insurance to pay and fix it. You'll be driving that old beat-up bucket until you pay it off. So, you know, don't frown on brothers when they come to the truth and they're struggling. You're there to build them up. You're not there to squander them or squash them. You're there to build them up. Because you walk in their shoes for a little bit. See if you can handle what they're dealing with. You know, every man's walk is different. So this is what we have to struggle with. You know, this is why brothers should rejoice when we come together. That's a time for fellowship. It's time for enjoying one another. Talking about the Most High. You know, hallelujah. So Demas fell out the truth. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. This stuff is real. I mean, so the scriptures is no fairy tale. I mean, the things that we dealing with, they dealt with. They dealing with the same stuff. Matter of fact, they dealt with worse. Their life was on hand. They would get killed. Right? I mean, right now, we could possibly get killed for the truth because you know why? We go against the grain of everybody. Anytime black men or Latino men go against the grain, there's always somebody out there to get them. You know? They don't want us to change the minds of the masses. That's the problem. Right? The churches, they all go on the same, they all have the same grain. But we go against that grain. That's why nobody likes us. Right? 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. Even if we are right, we get chased out. Look at Haile Selassie. Even though he wasn't a brother in the truth or Israelite, never know. You never know. But when you look at it, when they ran him out of Ethiopia, he ran to Britain. And his children, well, they killed him in Ethiopia. But his children fled. And why did they flee? Because they had the name of Haile Selassie. They was going to kill the children. Same thing with the Black Panther Party. You had some run to Cuba. How you think the children are living? You think those children are in fear? The children of those brothers? Yes, they are. Every movement, people are killed and children are ridiculed based on their father. Okay? Who stood up for something that was right. Alright? And that COINTELPRO destroyed a lot of families. Alright? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. And let's read 9 and 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. See? Even Paul wasn't exempt of being a castaway. Alright? So what we're speaking of is real truth. This is reality, man. This is reality. I like dealing with reality. And this is reality. This is what's really going on. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 5. 1 Corinthians 13 and 5. Doth it not behave itself unseemly? Seeketh not her own. Is it not easily provoked? Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. That's what we have to do. All right? Rejoice in this truth, man. Whether you by yourself, whether you got brothers and sisters around, rejoice in it. Don't fall away or be cast away because things are getting too tough for you, or because you're struggling. Don't give up, you know, because Satan is waiting for you to fall. In the spirit world, they're waiting for you to fall so they can leap on you. Remember, the scriptures tell you that a man who falls away, 7 more demons leap on him, right? But you can't just easily just fall out this truth and expect nothing to happen to you. That reprobatism is serious. All right? And you wonder why brothers be talking like they got 3 heads and don't believe in certain scriptures or don't believe in certain laws. It's reprobatism. If they don't believe what the Bible says, there's something wrong with them. Period. Let's go to Romans 3:23. I hope this is sinking in. I hope y'all understand where this class is taking me, you know, and I hope that it's touching some of you, because it needs to be taught to. I mean, this subject's on everything in the Bible. Every subject needs to be touched on a brother and sister's mind, so they know how to, so they can be better equipped to deal with certain things. All right, because like I said, each man's walk is different from other men's walk. It's easy to offer advice, but when that problem happens to you, can you take your own advice? You know, that's the thing. This is Romans chapter 3, verse 23. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. This is why. All of us have sinned. All of us, man. Ain't nobody that serious. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians 13. Let's go back. Let's go to the 6th verse. And hold this verse. Hold this verse. All have sinned. 2 Corinthians 13:6. But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Okay. 5. I'll start at 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Hamashiach Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates. So, if you ain't got Hamashiach Yahushua, the scriptures call you a reprobate. You're a reprobate. But I trust that ye shall not know that we are not reprobates. Now I pray to the Most High that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do in which is honest, though we be as reprobates. He's telling you right here, look, our people have been reprobates since Hamashiach died on the cross and rose again, and the Roman Catholic Church came and took over 2,000 years ago. Our people have been all reprobates, all of us, until now. Those of you who are waking up. So our whole nation, we wouldn't have went in captivity if we wasn't all reprobates. All of us was reprobates. That's why new seeds had to come out. We're the new seeds out of those generations. So that's why he said, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. All have sinned. All of our people. You know? Look at 24. Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Hamashiach Yahushua. We have to have Hamashiach Yahushua to not be reprobates. If you don't have your Hamashiach Yahushua, you are a reprobate. Remember what we read in Romans 1:26? It says, be not backbiters, malignity, or causing debate. Brothers, read right over the debate part. All right? It tells you in there, debate, don't debate. When brothers want to debate all the time, you're a reprobate. Okay? Rap about that. Let's go to Romans chapter 1:54. Romans 1:54. Let's say 54. That's what I wanted. Now Luke. Let's go to Luke 1:54. Luke chapter 1, verse 54. he hath helped his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy. So who's going to get mercy? Israel. As he spoke to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever. So the only ones who can get repentance and mercy is Israel. All right? Israel is the one who broke the commandments. No other nations broke the commandments but Israel. That's why the mercy is to Israel. Once Israel gets the mercy, then all others who follow Israel will have a chance to get into the kingdom. If they follow who? Israel. Just like in Egypt. Those people who follow Israel believed that Israel was the head of the nations. We're the head of the nations. Israel is. Okay? But when you don't believe in Israel or Hamashiach, you're done. You're done as a nation, as another nation. All right? I want to just talk about how all these people are off, man. All these people. I mean, it was a sister that called me the other day, and she didn't realize that this whole society was demonic until it clicked. It clicked in her mind. The Roman Catholics have a doctrine that's all over the earth. That's when it clicked. Some people it take a little while for that light bulb to kick on. But many others, it kicks right on right away. But when it kicks on, it's like, oh my gosh, you're the only one in that little realm right there. You're thinking, wow, what was I thinking of? But yeah, Satan is running the earth. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And it says, and you brothers know this verse. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Did it say with the spirit of a gun? Did it say with the spirit of a knife? No, it says with the spirit of his mouth. All right, our mouth is going to tear up everything around here. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs, lying wonders. That's Satan. That's Esau. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the Most High, or the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So everyone is damned at this point because they don't have the truth. The truth is being preached, but they don't want it. Presidents don't want it. Congressmen don't want it. Right? Preachers don't want it. So-called preachers. Imams of Muslim mosques, they don't want it. Monks, they don't want it. Nobody wants the truth. See? Israelites have never fully to the Most High, have never really fully returned back to the Most High because of our unbelief and fallen away. I'm sorry, Ezekiel 57. Ezekiel 57, and when you read, where is it at? Ezekiel 57 verse 1, it says, afterward he brought me again unto the door of the house. This is an angel that brought Ezekiel. And behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east. And the waters came down from under from the right side of the house at the south side of the altar. Now the waters are the truth. That's the truth spreading. It says, then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the utter gate by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out of waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits. This is the same angel who was measuring the temple in Revelation 11 and 1. All right. And in Hosea, I believe it was the 6th chapter. Or Micah, the 6th chapter, one of them. All right. Brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. So the truth is going to rise up slowly. You wonder why ain't that many brothers and sisters in it? but it's rising slowly. Right now, it's up to the ankles. It said again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the knees. Now the waters rose to the knees. Okay, this is the way the truth is going to spread. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through. The waters were to the loins, up to his waist. Afterward, he measured 1,000, and it was a river. Look at that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over. And he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen this? Then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the river. Now when I had returned, behold, at the bank of the river were very many trees on the one side and on the other. This is also spoken of in Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. The rivers is the truth. The rivers is the children of Israel waking up. The trees are the children of Israel. Okay. Then said he unto me, These waters issue out toward the east country and go down into the desert and go into the sea, which being brought forth into the sea, the waters shall be healed. And it shall come to pass that everything that liveth, which moveth, whithersoever the river shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish. The fish are the believers, the repentant Israelites. Because these waters shall come hither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live whether the river cometh. See that right there? And it shall come to pass that the fishers shall stand upon it, from En-gedi even unto England. And this is the Dead Sea, En-gedi and England, all right? They shall be a place to spread forth nets. Their fish shall be according to their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceeding many. This is what's coming. This is a glimpse at what the kingdom is going to be like. The truth is going to be so overwhelming. Everywhere you look, people are going to know the truth. It's going to take over. And there's nothing that we can do about it. Right now, it's just up to the ankles. But it's going to be up to the knees, then up to the loins, and then it's going to be a river. Y'all ready for that? That's what's coming. None of us know. But when we do, it's going to be mind-blowing, man. It's going to be mind-blowing. All we got to do is just come back to the Most High and do it. Look at Haggai 2 and 3. Let's go there. Look at what the Most High says about Israel. He says the same thing. Ain't none of us seen it. We want to see it. But we're going to get our chance, just like Tobit, when he saw the destruction of Nineveh. He did see it. Right? If anybody has it, they're welcome to read it. If you have it already, you're welcome to read it for me. Okay. Haggai? Yeah, Haggai 2 and 3. Yes, sir.
That's the book right before Zechariah. And Haggai 2:3 reads, Who is left among you that saw this house to her first glory? And how do ye see it now?
Right, how do you see it now?
Is it not in your eyes? In comparison of it as nothing?
Right. I mean, that's the question. And ain't none of us seen it. It says, how do you see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Read on, Art.
In verse 4, Yet now be strong, O
Zerubbabel,
says the Most High, and be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedek, the high priest, and be strong, all you people of the land, says the Most High, and work, for I am with you, says the Most High of hosts.
Right, he's telling you, look, his spirit gonna remain with us. The whole time we went into captivity, he was with us. He says, look, all you have to do is continue to endure and believe, and I will bring you back to the kingdom. He says, no one will see it as you will see it. He says, the kingdom of Israel is not going to be nowhere near what you're used to seeing. Read 5 through 8, and I'll let you rest.
that I coveted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so my spirit reigneth among you. Fear ye not. For thus says the Most High of Hosts, yet once, it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, says the Most High of Hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, says Yahweh of Hosts.
That's right. He said that in the beginning. He called us, who said, what was that? He said that no one wants this silver. When you read Jeremiah 6:30, he said, who wants this old piece of silver? See, the silver and the gold is the Most High's. We're going back to the Most High. He prepared a kingdom for us back in our land. This is what we're waiting for. Everything that we had was taken from us. You know, when we come back, the Most High will bring it back to us. Look at what this man did. I got a book called Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. In this book was written by different concentration camps, like the Russians and the British. All this stuff was written. All right, the Zionist Jews. This was written, right? It's basically break down all the nations. It's really to break down the nation of Israel when you read Psalms 83. But I'm gonna read it. This is on page 52. It was written by Sergei Nilus, Nilus. And this is what he says. We must introduce into their education all those principles which have so brilliantly broken up their order. But when we are in power, we shall remove every kind of disturbing subject from the course of education and shall make out of the youth obedient children of authority, loving him who rules as the support and hope of peace and quiet. So they want to rule over all nations, and now they are. This is old stuff, all right? They want to destroy everything that we had. Look at Psalms 11:3. Look at what the Most High says, what this people is going to do to us. Psalms 11:3 is a perfect example of what they're saying in this book. Psalms 11 verse 3, it says, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Look at our people. All our foundations have been destroyed. So those who know the truth, those who know what we were, what can we do? How can we prove it? If our foundations have been destroyed, our customs, everything we have been destroyed, how can we prove it? Everything we know has been destroyed. That's a heavy verse right there. That the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? We can do nothing but teach the truth. That's all. And hope that our people get it. But when the foundations are gone, everything is stripped away from you. Sometimes our people don't want to hear it. They want to get it back. They want their belongings back, but they don't want to hear the medicine. They don't want to hear the medicine to get it back. I'll read some more out of this book. It says classicism. It says, we shall erase from the memory of men all facts of previous centuries which are undesirable to us, and leave only those which depict all the errors of the government of the Goyim, or the Gentiles. So they want to rob all the places that belong to us. Our birth, our employment, everything that we've known, they want to take away from us. It says here, we shall abolish every kind of freedom of instruction. Our freedom of instruction was what? Our peace, which is the law, statutes, commandments. Everything that we've known, they try to take it away. And they've succeeded. They've taken it away. You know? So what are we to do? Cry? Crying ain't gonna get us nowhere. And then when you go into Babylon and Timbuktu, and you read page 122, I read 122. It says, let me see. Yeah, right here. I read 21. 121, it says, like the black Jews in America, some of the Jews of Guinea don't remember their original nationality. This deplorable ignorance is attributed to various causes. The fall of Hebrew kingdoms, the lack of communication with Jew educational centers, intense persecution, and deliberate blotting out of the mind their true nationality. Thus Nahum Slot said that this about the Islamized Jews he met. In most cases, these Hebrews by race and Muslim men by faith seek to hide their origin, which has become a burden to them. So you got Israelites hiding their own nationality because they're afraid. It says, in another example, the persecution of the black Jews in Portugal was so ruthless and frequent that Cecil Roth tells us the Jews did not divulge to their children the secret of their religion until they had attained the age of reason. The age of reason is 12 years old. So they wouldn't even tell their children that they were Israelites because children have a way, they have a tendency of running their mouth. So you tell a child that they are Israelite, they go to school and the teacher say, oh, you're a black boy. You know, a child would be like, no, I'm an Israelite. And before you know it, they come into your house and tearing your house down, police, everything. So they wouldn't tell their children until they reached the age of responsibility, which was 12 years old and upward. Okay? Very important, man. This is how critical it is. So we out there telling people they Israelites, they don't care as long as people ain't listening to us. But let me tell you, once people start listening and they know that we're Israelites, they're going to come after us. They don't care right now because we ain't making a change. There's nothing happening. People still ain't listening. We still go out there, still the same brothers. They could care less. But as soon as we start growing, they're going to start paying attention. All right? That's the whole point of that. It says here, the Hebrew religion is such that if you deny your religion, you will eventually deny your nationality. Look at that. The psychiatrists or the sociologists and psychologists, I can't even speak tonight. No, and his history has proven that if you deny your culture and nationality over a long period of time, you will totally forget it through a process of assimilation. So this is what's going on with the Negroes here in America right now. Over a period of time, we forgot our nationality. We don't know who we are. Totally lost. Crazy, man. There's another one that I wanted to bring out. The stuff is real though, man. Look at this one. This is what Nat Turner said. This is in Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. This is on page 138. This is what Nat Turner said. This is, let the fact not be doubted by those whom it most concerns that another such insurrection will be the signal for the extermination of the whole black population in the quarter of the state where it occurs. So he's telling you another insurrection is coming. Among those most immediately concerned was a slave who later told Thomas Wentworth Higginson that at the time of the old prophet Nat, the colored folks was afraid to pray out loud, for the whites threatened to punish them dreadfully if the least noise was heard. Well, then why do you think they did that? Why didn't they want the blacks to pray, the Israelites to pray out loud? Because the Most High will hear our voice. We got so many examples, man. Can y'all imagine that? We couldn't even pray out loud. Sad, man. So, I mean, when you look at this stuff, man, it's just sadden you. It's just sadden your mind, man, how we have assimilated, that we're afraid to pray out loud, you know. We don't do these things anymore, you know. We've assimilated to the point where we don't even challenge anything anymore. We just go along to get along, you know. Let's go to Joel 3, and 4. It's crazy, man. Let's get Joel 3 and 4. And I also want to go back to Haggai. Brother, you still got that Haggai on you? Your heart? You there?
God, I had to get on the speaker. I got it.
Yeah. Can you read that same chapter, verse 8 and 9 for me?
Haggai, chapter 2, verse 8 and 9.
Yes, sir.
It reads, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, says the Most High of hosts. The glory of the latter house shall be greater than of the former, says the Most High of hosts.
God.
And in this place will I give peace, says Yahweh of hosts."
Right. So he tell you the silver is mine and the gold is mine. When you read Joel chapter 3, you read 4 and 6, it says, "Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head." Now, Zidon and Tyre, those are the Africans that sold us. The coast of Palestine, those are the Ishmaelites. It says, "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temples, my goodly, pleasant things." Right? "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians," the Edomites, "that ye might remove them far from their border." So they took our gold and silver and then they sold us. Got rid of us. So our foundations have been destroyed. Read 21 and 22, and I promise you I'll leave you alone. Read 21 and 22. Haggai chapter 2, verse 21. Same chapter. Your heart, can you read that too?
God, I had to take it off speaker.
Okay.
Which verse is that?
Verse 21 and 22.
Haggai chapter 2, 21, 22. "Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judea, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariot and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother."
See that? So that's what the Most High going to do to these heathens, those who rule over us. Most High going to deal with them. When you go to Zephaniah, the next chapter over, Zephaniah says in the 3rd chapter, verse 18, Zephaniah 3 and 18, it says, "I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict you, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land, where they have been put to shame." That's us. "At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Most High." He's going to do this right before our very eyes. So this is what the Most High is bringing back to us. We just got to understand. Let me get one more verse, Psalms 18 and 17, and we're going to end it with this. So being a reprobate, my advice to you is to endure to the end. Don't change, don't stop. And like I said in the beginning, you must believe the prophets. If you don't believe the prophets and Hamashiach, this is a sad day for you. This is Psalms chapter 18, verse 17. "He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Most High was my stay." He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. So the Most High is going to reward us for remembering him, standing fast, staying strong. Even if we get roughed up, they might come and rough us up. Might hit you in the eye, you know, make you put shades on a witness stand, you know, just to get you to say the wrong thing against your brother or against the Most High. You know, so we got to stand fast for this truth. And right now, this is just the building part. This is the building stage. All the stuff that we're going over right now, in the future, you might have to remember this because it might be all you have. You know, I know some guys from the 70s who actually went to prison, man, over some political stuff. And they would sit in jail for 2 years and they had nothing. They were isolated. All they could remember was the things that they had in the past. They could remember vividly everything that they read, everything that they watched in their minds. That's all they had. That's how Paul was. That's how John the Revelator was. You may not even have the Bible, you know. You may be in isolation. So the only thing that you can remember is this word. You got to be like the book of Eli. You got to remember every single thing and every single lesson in order to endure. You know. All right. So are there any questions or any comments? And like I said, tonight's class was about being a reprobate. Advice, stick with the scriptures.
Yeah. I'm sorry, this is ER again. I did have a comment or a question, actually. As we covered with that Joel, chapter 3, 4 and 5, we're talking about you're taking my silver and my gold and carrying it to your temples. Right. Is that connected to the Isaiah chapter 60, verse 9?
Ooh.
And I'll read that real quick to see if that is...
Let's talk about the captivity, return of our captivity, return back to Israel, the 60th chapter. Yeah. Go ahead and read it, though.
Chapter 60, this is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 9. It says, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the saying of the Most High thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. Right. Yeah, we're getting everything back. In that book, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, they speak about in the end of days, we're going to get everything back, man. People are going to come from afar, bringing us all these things that they took from us. So, as you can see, brothers in the truth, brothers in the Bible that was in the truth fell out like Demas. He fell apart. Barnabas, you know, he stopped owning up to his duty. In the book of Acts chapter, was that 15? There's all kinds of examples in the Bible. We just have to, you know, read it with diligence and see that they're human. They're Israelites just like us. Not so much human, but they're Israelites just like us. And when you look at the world today, they're basically trying to make all of us be the same people. They don't want us to talk about black, white. No, they want everybody to be the same. But it's easy to do when the people who are ruling right now are ruling. I mean, they're already ruling. So yeah, of course they want us all to be the same. But no, we have to get that word out that Israel is different. Right? We're a peculiar people, totally different from everybody else. And they have to understand that. You know? That's a very good point you bring up, brother, about Israel being different than all the other, you know, they usually lump us in with the Africans.
Right.
And last night, this pastor's been getting me to come to his church and listen in on this Bible studies. And when I listen in, whatever study he's got going, brother asks one question and it throws the it goes, you know, from the children of Israel, the lost tribes. That the Jews or the white people in Israel converted to a religion that they created called, you know, Judaism. That has nothing to do with me. And then he said, yeah, but we all came over from Africa. We all the same people. I said, that's you're wrong again. I said, in Africa, there's more than, 60 countries? And each one of those countries speak a different language, have a different culture. They don't even identify with each other, you know, like that. I mean, no different than when you go into Europe and you go from Italy to Germany over to some other place. Those are all different cultures, even though most of those people look alike. They are very, very, you know, very, very different cultures. And then he said, well, how are you? How is Israel different? I said, and then I tried to break down the chart for him, and not the 12-tribe chart, but, you know, the one back when it all started with Noah, Shem, and all those.
Right, Genesis 10.
Yeah, I may as well just run up and talking in Chinese, because he didn't do what, but, you know, I'm like, where are you from? Because he thinks he's he told me last night that, again, he said, I'm going to say this last time, brother, I am a Gentile. And you read Joel 3, some of it, earlier. I said, let's go to Joel 3 and see what's going to happen to these Gentiles that you claim to be. And when I read that for him, and I read the whole thing, you know, not just a piece of it, because I wanted him to see the whole story, and his mouth just flung open. And he was speechless, like, I said, so you sure you're Gentile? Because you came over on the boat. I said, you couldn't be like those Egyptians that came out of Egypt, were ancient people too. You know,
right.
You know, you had a chance then, but you didn't want it, so maybe you're not. And after that, he said, look, man, in the future, can we just all have a round table? We ain't gotta have the more Bible study. Can we just have a round table, just sit around and talk? I'm like, this is your congregation. You do what you want to do. I just come when I got time, you know.
Right. Well, hey, well, tell. You don't have no study anymore. But when we make one crazy statement and one statement, you know, and I show him scripture, I don't give any emotion. I know they're talking about my feelings and all this stuff. And it ain't about that. You know, it's about the Most High's word, and it shuts down everything he's getting ready to say. Thinking about saying he backtracks out like so. It's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
When I heard that, especially when you said Joel 3, that made me think about last night. I was going to comment, and I was just going to let everybody go to sleep, but since the other brother jumped in and said something, I was going to share that. It's amazing when somebody finally hits the truth the first time. And I know, but yeah, I haven't been really in the church in like 10, maybe 15 years.
Right.
When, you know, like I told you guys the story, how I got this. I went out at no camp, didn't see anybody talking in the street, didn't see no videos.
Right.
I was just at home and just, hey, you don't start reading this. I had to stop everything I was doing, and I ain't put it down yet. And all the stuff that, you know, a lot of things that they had been teaching that, you know, that same stuff over and over, especially a lot of the practices that I no longer agree with, you know. Like drinking of the blood and wine and all that stuff. I don't, you know. And it shook me because that's what we had came up with, believing that all that was absolutely necessary. And I don't know. I just want to share that real quick. I know you're tired.
That's good, though.
Thanks for the study, though.
Yeah, I mean, input is important because you know, all of us are each other's eyes. So what you see, we don't see until you tell us, and what we see, you don't see until we tell you. So, you know, we all help influence each other by talking about it. You know, so it's important to talk about it. You know, so we appreciate all the thoughts, all the comments that you may bring out. I'm sure when he sees you, he kind of get a little jolt in the spirit. Be careful of saying certain things because he knows that you sit there listening and you have a difference of opinion. Was it 33 and 21? I believe it was 33 and 21. It talks about Ephraim will push the tribes to the end of the sea, to the end of to the other side of the earth. Okay, so Ephraim was that head tribe to push the rest of the tribes over here.
Okay? It says, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So who's going to be the head? It's going to be Judah. Judah's going to be the head tribe that pushed the other tribes where? Back into the truth. Okay? So that's why you see mostly a lot of us are waking up. Yeah, it's just a reprobate again, and I said it in the beginning of the class. Reprobate means to be rejected on the account of, you know, of his own worthlessness, basically being a castaway, you know, for failing to make use of an opportunity, you know, that's offered to them. I mean, what was offered to us? The truth. And when you fail to make a make use of the opportunity, which is to learn this word, believe in all the words that the Most High gave us, believe the prophets that the Most High gave us. The Son came on earth as a prophet, as a king, as a high priest. You know, that's a form of reprobatism when you don't believe that. You know, and the scriptures is telling us to believe the prophets, just like the rest of the Israelites. They believed the prophets before. That's our job. You know, in order for to make this prophecy come true, we have to do this, you know, and then pray out loud like the slaves did. They got their mouths shut down for praying out loud. We got to pray out loud with belief. You know, the reason why they shut them down from praying out loud, because they believed in the words of the Bible. If they had prayed back then and the slave masters in America let them do it, I'm sure the Most High would have came and destroyed this place a long time ago, but they didn't allow that to happen. They make us get cooped up and go in a building and praise the Most High. We should be doing it all over the earth on a regular basis. Hallelujah. You know, so we just got to walk that walk and endure, like I always say. All right. Any other questions before we close it down? Any sisters got any questions? Comments? All right. So we're going to go ahead and face the east. Hamaya upon your house.
I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.